Greetings po. My name is Carlos de Bermas. So this is my part, the UML class diagram. So in our class diagram, meron po tayong limang class, which is Clinic Management System, Dentist, Service, Transaction, at Client. Sa Clinic Management System po at Dentist, ginamitan po natin siya ng aggregation. Sa Clinic Management System at Transaction Relationship, ginamitan po natin siya ng aggregation. Sa Clinic Management System at Client, aggregation po ginamitan. So this is a clinic management system. One to many ang ginamit po natin, which is a clinic has multiple dentists, but each dentist belongs to one clinic. And then dito po sa ating clinic management system at client, one to many din po yung ginamit natin. A clinic has multiple clients, but each client po belongs to one clinic. Then sa transaction naman po, one to many din po yung ginamit natin, which is the clinic manage a multiple transaction, but each transaction belongs to only one clinic. Ito naman po sa dentist at saka sa service, ginamit po natin dyan ay association, dentist service, which is itong asterisk nag-represent ng many, then sa isa po is many, so that is many-to-many association. Because a dentist can provide a multiple services, and a service can be performed by multiple dentists. So, next naman po natin is yung client transaction. Association relationship na po yung ginamit natin. Tapos, one to many. Because a client can have a multiple transaction, but the transaction belongs to one client. And the next one is transaction and dentist. So, makita po natin is asterisk, so many to many po yung ginamit natin. And relationship is association. The transaction to dentist, a transaction can involve a multiple dentist, and the dentist can work on a multiple transaction. Then dito naman po tayo sa transaction and service. So sa transaction service, association yung ginamit natin. Then many to many. So bakit nga ba ganun? Because the transaction can include multiple services, and a service can be part of a multiple transaction. That's it po.
Greetings po everyone. I am Catherine Nicole Andal, here to present yung ating dentist class as part of our group project with Midterms. So, ang dentist class is for us to represent yung mga dentist employee, to store yung mga dentist employee sa ating dental clinic system, in which it will allow us to manage their details, services, and status. Let's proceed na sa ating group. So, ayan, dito muna tayo sa ating class attributes. Ano ba yung mga class attributes na kinakailangan or meron sa aming dentist class? So, unang-una sa lahat ay ang private static int ID counter. So this ID counter, it will be used para maka-generate tayo automatically ng unique identifier ng ating dentist, or dito sa code natin, ang tawag natin is ang employee ID. So makikita natin mamaya kung paano natin nagagamit yung ating ID counter dito sa ating employee ID. So next, kailangan natin ang contact details ng ating dentist, which is the name, address, and contact number. Ayan. So nilapin namin siya dyan. So next naman is yung commission rate. Hindi mawawala ang commission rate, because commission rate is to show kung magkano ba or ilang percentage pa ang mapupunta sa ating dentist. And we also have the private array list object service and services offered. And itong array list na to is, tulad nga nasabi ko kanina, nagagamit natin siya for us to manage yung services na ino-offer ng each dentist. Okay? So next we have the private boolean is active. It is for us to know if a specific dentist is active or inactive. Ayan, dito naman sa ating constructor, we have the parameters string name, string address, string contact number, and double commission rate. So, every time na magka-create tayo ng dentist, is hihingin itong following parameters. Okay? So, kasi tayo dun sa nakapaloob sa ating constructor. This dot employee is equal to ID counter plus plus. So, as you can see, yung ID counter natin dito is naka-increment and naka-equivalent siya sa ating attribute na employee ID. So, it only means na every time we will create or make a new dentist, ng ating ID counter na equals to 1 will increase. So, mag-i-increment siya. So, from 1, magiging 2, and then magiging 3, 4, and so on. And ipapasa natin yon dito sa ating attribute na employee ID. Okay. So, next we have this dot name is equal to name. Itong name na to is from our parameter, and ipapasa natin siya sa ating attribute, which is here. Okay. So, next naman is for this dot address is equal to address. This dot address, ito ay ang ating attribute ulit na galing itong attribute. And then yung equal to address is yung parameter ay ipapasa natin ulit sa ating attribute na address. Okay? So, continuous lang yan. Dito sa contact number and commission rate, same lang na nangyayari. And then next, we have the services offered is equal to new IDs. In this part naman, nag-initialize tayo ng empty list and ipapasa naman natin siya sa ating attribute na services offered. So, it means na every time we create a new dentist, automatically ay may services offered na IDs na siya na nakadikit doon. Okay? And then, last but not least, ang ating list that boolean is active is equal to true. Which means na every time we create a new dentist, ang ating boolean is active is by default true ang kanyang value. Okay. Ayan. So, dito na tayo sa setter and getter ng ating ID counter. Okay. So, itong dalawa is magagamit natin siya in other parts of the code. So, public static void set ID in new counter. ID counter is equal to new counter. So, which means ating new counter na galing sa ating parameter will be passed sa ating attribute na ID counter. So, every time na ginagamit natin itong setter ng ID counter, manghihingi siya ng integer with the variable name new counter and we will pass it sa ating attribute. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, parang i-override natin or i-update natin yung ID counter natin manually using this setter. Okay. And then, for our getter, get ID counter, we will return lang yung ating current ID counter. Okay. So, next, meron naman tayong method na add service. Para saan ba yung add service? So, ayan. Yung add service natin is for us to add a new service sa ating array list na nandito sa ating constructor. Okay? So, every time we create a new dentist, diba, nag-initiate tayo ng empty array list na named as services offered. And, using the method add service, makakapag-add na tayo ng new service sa ating array list. Ayan. Kaya, services offered, tinawag na natin yung array list dot add service. Ayan. So, kung ano ilalagay natin dito na service, ayun yung ipapasok natin sa array list natin. Okay? So, next we have the boolean can perform. Ayan. Para saan naman kaya itong method natin na can perform service? Ayan. So, magagamit natin ito kapag gusto natin i-validate if yung hinihingi bang service ng ating client is mapaperform ba ng ating dentist. Ayan. So, ang hinihingi na is ang string service name. So, ayan. Let's proceed dito sa baba. So, nakapaloob na if not is active, we will return false. Okay. So, meaning, if ang dentist natin ay naka-archive or hindi siya active or inactive siya at the moment, it will return false. So, ibig sabihin is, hindi kaya ni dentist at the moment na ma-perform ang service na hinihingi ng ating client. Okay. And then, dito naman sa baba, we use the advanced for loop para ma-access natin yung bawat service na nakapaloob sa array list na services offered. So, ayan. So, if service.getName, kukunin natin yung service na gaya dito, is equals to the service name na hinihingi ng ating client, it will return true. Otherwise, if not, it will return false. And then, magkukontinue ulit tayo sa loop hanggat hindi nauubos or natatapos yung nilalaman ng array list natin ng services offered. Okay. So, let's proceed naman sa ating getter ng ating dentist class. Ayan. So, dito sa ating getter, unang-una sa lahat ay ang get employee ID. So, if ever we need yung employee ID or if ever we need yung employee ID ng ating dentist, we will use this method para ma-return ito yun. Okay. Next, we have the public string get formatted employee ID. Ayan. So, bakit formatted employee ID? Kasi sa code namin, ang gusto namin ipakita na employee ID will have 4 digits. So, it will be 0004 or 0001, 0007, ganyan. So, gagamit tayo ng built-in static method in Java na for us to format ang ating string as, ito nga siya, is %04t, which means na 4 digits ang kakalabasan or ang magiging output ng ating employee ID. So, every time na we will create a new dentist, mag-start tayo sa 0001, and then pag gumawa ulit tayo, then magiging 0002, 0003, and so on. Okay. Next, we have the public string get name. Ayan. So, dito na tayo sa getter ng ating personal details and pound commission rate. So, this will be used, sure na magagamit natin to sa other part ng ating code. Okay? Ever we need to get the name, return natin yung name ng dentist. Ever we need to get the commission rate ng specific dentist, we will get the commission rate. Ayan. Same as with address and the contact number. So, dito naman, we have the boolean is active. Ano nga ba to? Yung method na to, bakit may method pa na to? So, this method will be used para i-return natin kung ang boolean is active, para malaman natin kung ang isang dentist ay active ba or naka-archive. And then, next we have the option to update the information or the details ng ating dentist by using this method, which is the update method, with the string name, string address, string contact number, and total commission rate. Okay, so ayan yung mga parameters niya, same lang din sa ating constructor. And then, yung nakapaloob din sa kanya is also the same, which means na i-update natin itong string name from this parameter. Ipapasa na naman natin siya ngayon dun sa ating attribute, and same with the address, contact number, at sa commission rate. Okay. So next we have the method archive. This method naman ay for us to archive ang isang specific dentist. So since ang ating dentist ay naka-active by default, ayan dito, sinet natin siya as active by default. Every time we create a new dentist, ang boolean is active niya is true. So dito naman sa ating archive method, we will set the boolean is active to false para masabi natin na naka-archive na siya or inactive na yung ating dentist. Okay. And then if ever we want to reactivate a specific dentist, ito naman ang gagamitin natin, reactivate method. So kabaliktaran nito, ang boolean is active naman natin is isa-set natin to true para maibalik natin siya sa pagiging active. Okay. So doon na natatapos ang ating code.
Good day everyone, I'm Rinibel Edward Sabe, and this is my part in our project. I create a class client and attributes that in a private access modifier, and this is one of the attributes I create. Client ID, name, contact number, and address. And all of the attributes is in string data type. And also, we create private static that to make unique the ID counter and last year, to get or to track the last year. So, after that, I create a constructor that also same name in my class, and inside of the parameter is my attribute I created. Then after that, inside in the constructor is I create a condition to get and track the last year to current year. And I create the this method to my attribute to get the value. And yun nga, I make a get and set method for my attribute that make it public na ma-access po ng ibang class and sa main class. Also have public void that return the value. Lang po, maraming salamat.
Hello, greetings everyone. My name is Haizame Castillo, and here I'm going to present the service class in Clinic Management System. So this class is designed to store and manage the details about the service, including its name and price. So here inside the service class, we have two private variables, which is the string name and a double price. So a string that stores the name of the class and a double that stores of the price of the service. And now, here, as you can see, we're going to create a constructor, or we need to create a constructor. So this constructor takes the name and its price. So now, we're going to define the two getter methods that allows us to access the private attributes. So we use get name and get price to retrieve the values of the name and price, because these attributes are private and cannot be accessed directly from outside the class. So this method allows other parts of the program to retrieve the service details without directly modifying them.
Greetings po, I'm Navarro sa Region B, and as of now mag-explain po ng code po na transaction class. So dito po, java.qt.re is nag-import po ako para sa list po, para tumagtag po siya. Then parang one to many po. Then class transaction, ito po yung mga attributes niya: private, ito tatlong client, then lists, tapos services po yung ginawa niya. Then dito naman po tayo sa constructor niya. Public transaction, client lang po yung i-access niya pagka nangingi. Okay, so this the client equals client, parang i-equals lang po niya sa in-input ni user. Jadi kilala na si client. This the services, tapos this the dentist. Ayun na po yung i-list down natin. At ano po, add service, kasama na po dyan yung dentist. If dentist that can perform, method sabi ng class, service that get name, si service. If this dentist can perform this service, mag-a-add po siya. And dentist that add dentist services that add service. Else, kung hindi po magagawa, babalik siya sa dito, system that outprint line, dentist, get name, pangalan na dentist. Tapos sabihin, cannot perform this service, parang ganun. Okay, next. At ang public to, pag-calculate total payment, parang i-calculate lang po yung ano niya, yung pricing. Si total, siya po yung i-return natin dito sa ibaba. So, for services, ayun tatlong yan, service class, service, yung tawag sa kanya, for each loop, tapos sa services, yung array list niya po. Total, 0, tapos service.getPrice, kung magkano daw po yung service niya. Okay, so return total. Ayan, babalik lang. Wait, tutuyo ito. Ano? So, public void display transaction. Diyan naman po lalabas yung pag-display niya ng transaction. Client, tawagin si client, name, and client.getName. Tapos, with ganun, parenthesis. Tapos nasa loob yung client ID. Okay, system out print line, services performed. Then, pinasok ko sa for loop. Then, system out print line, services, get index. Tapos kung ano nasa index na yun, kukunin ko yung name niya. By dentist. Sinong dentist ba? Dentist.get index. Kung sinong dentist yung nasa index na yun, kunwari nasa index na si Mark. Si Mark yung kukunin niya. Get name plus price P. Services that get index. Kung anong service yung nasa index na yun, kukunin yung price niya. Then, system out total payment. Calculate total payment. Tatawagin na naman po yung nasa taas na class para i-total po yung payment. Then, client, get client. Mga getter and setter na lang po yan. Parang client get client. Ipabalik lang po sa nangingisa niya. Ganun. Tapos, public array list, dentist. Ganun din po. Pagka tinawag siya, ganun din. Ibabalik sa kanya sa kanya. Yun po.
Greetings everyone, my name is Marylab M. Delmiguez from 2ITE. So dito po, inassign po sa akin i-explain is the clinic management system. So dito po, ipapaliwanag po natin kung ano po bang nagagawa ng clinic management system. So dito po, mayroon po kaming nilagay na tatlong fields. Una po ay si dentist, si clients, and si transaction. So dito po, nag-add po tayo ng tatlong constructor method para sa ating tatlong fields, which is si dentist, si clients, and si transactions. So, dito po, gumagawa po sila ng bagong empty list, kaya meron po tayong nilagay na new array list. So, meron din po tayong in-add dito na add dentist, add client, and add transaction. So, dito po, gumamit po kami ng .add method ng array list para po idadagdag po na po nito ang mga bagong dentist, client, at add transaction sa kanila pong mga list. So, dito naman po, sa ating update dentist, so hahanapin naman po nito ang dentist gamit po ang kanyang employee ID. So, kapag nakita po niya at active, i-update na po niya ang name, address, contact number, and commission rate. So, pag nakita po yon, magpapakita po siya ng message na dentist update successfully. So, kapag hindi po nakita o naka-archive na, magpapakita naman po siya ng dentist not found or archive. So, dito naman po sa update client, hahanapin naman po nito yung client ID. So, kung kanina po ay si employee ID, ngayon po ay si client ID. So, kapag nakita po, i-update na po nito yung kanyang name, contact number, and address. So, kapag nakita po yon, magpapakita na po siya ng message na client updated successfully. So, kapag hindi pa po, magpapakita naman po siya ng message na client not found. So, ganoon din po sa archive dentist. So, dito naman po, hahanapin naman po niya ulit yung dentist gamit ang kanyang employee ID. So, kapag nakita po niyang active na po ito, gagamit po siya ng dentist is active. Ito po, ayan. So, kapag nagpakita po ito, kapag nakita na po siya, magpapakita naman po siya ng dentist archive successfully. So, kapag hindi po nakita, magpapakita naman po siya ng dentist not found or already archived. So, ganun din po sa ating archive client. So, hahanapin naman po ni client gamit ang client ID. So, kapag nakita, tatanggalin po siya sa listahan ng clients gamit po ang clients.remove. Open and close parenthesis, at nasa loob po ng easy client. So dito po, pag nagawa po yon, magpapakita po siya ng message na client archive successfully. So kapag hindi po nakita, yan po, else, ang ipapakita naman po niya is client not found. So ganun din po sa ating display dentist transactions. So dito po ay ginagamit naman po ito para ipakita lahat ng transaksyon ng isang dentist gamit po ang kanyang employee ID. Ito po. So, ito po, sa system.out.print line, so, transactions for dentist ID plus employee ID. So dito po, ipinapakita muna po natin ang message na nagche-check tayo ng transactions para po sa isang specific na dentist gamit ang kanya pong employee ID. So dito naman po sa boolean found equals false. So dito po, gumagamit po tayo ng boolean variable na found at sinet po natin ito sa false. So, ang purpose po nito ay para po malaman kung may nahanap na po ba tayong transaksyon para sa dentist. So, dito po, sa aking highlight, ay dito po, gumamit po tayo ng loop sa transaksyon at dentist. So, dadaan po tayo sa lahat ng transaksyon sa listahan. Dahil may multiple dentist po tayo sa isang transaksyon. So, gagamit po tayo ng isa pang loop para tingnan ang bawat dentist sa transaksyon na yon. So, dito naman po, sa aking highlight, ayan po, dito po, ito po, yan. Dito po, i-check naman po nito kung tugma po ba ang employee ID ng dentist. So, kung ang employee ID po ng current dentist ay tugma sa hinahanap natin, ipapakita naman po natin ang transaksyon gamit ang t.display transaction. So, kapag po, ito po, found true, so ibig sabihin po, may nahanap na po tayong transaksyon, kaya sinet na po natin ang found sa true. So, kapag wala pong nahanap na transaksyon, pagkatapos po ng loop, kung ang found po ay nananatiling false, so ibig sabihin po, wala pong transaksyon para sa dentist na yon. Kaya ipapakita naman po nito ang message na no transaction found for dentist ID. Plus, yan po, yung ating employee ID.
Mga greetings, I am Dinira Mamulang and now I'm going to present and explain my part to this project. By viewing the transaction report for our client, we use the method view transactions of open and close parenthesis string client ID. This method is responsible for displaying transaction records either for a specific client or for all the clients. First here, we print the transaction report as our header and we use the Boolean variable found to track whether the transactions exist. If client ID is null or empty, it loops through all the transactions and display them. And it prints a message stating that no transactions exist for the specified client ID. Here is the example output for that. We enter the client ID 2025-002 and wala tayong nakitang transaction for the client. But if the client ID is provided, it filters transactions to show only those related to the given client. Here is the sample output for that. We enter the choice number 5 and all the transaction by the client 2025-001 is same here. This is the service performed and her total payment. Now let's proceed sa ating dentist and client. Here we use the method find dentist, open and close parenthesis string employee ID, and the find client, open and close parenthesis string client ID. We use that method para ma-search ang dentist and client based sa kanilang ID. Anyways, kapag nag-match ang employee ID and the client ID sa input, nagre-return siya. Pero kapag hindi, at hindi nakita ang kanilang same or hindi nag-match yung kanilang parehong ID, it returns null. Here is the sample output for that. So kasi dito nag-match sila. Si dentist ID 001 ay nag-match yung kanyang service performed kay client Daynira. Meron siyang dalawang service na na-perform sa kanyang client. But kapag wala or kapag hindi nag-match yung kanilang ID, but ito naman po yung output kapag walang nakitang match kay client or kay dentist. Here is the sample output for that. And that's it na po for my part. And now let's proceed na po sa ating next presenter.
Hello greetings, my name is Anna Imates, and this part I will explain the main class. So let's start with the setting up the program. So setting up the program, we can use a Scalars color. It creates a tool to create what the user types, and also the clinic management system, which is it creates an object like a manager to handle all the clinics data about the benefits, clients, and transactions. And then Dynamonian running the culture. This is flag to keep the program running until all of the user choices to exit. And also for the available services. So it helps tree and double. So service names is always up and down. Service is the clinic offers. And second is the service prices. So it is a list of prices for each service. So for example, cleaning is cost 1,000 per tube. Then check-up cost a month is 600 total. Then this list match up the fillings is 1,000. Check-up and cleaning is 600 and so on. Then for the main loop, so we can use a while loop. So while is running, so keeps showing the menu and asking for input until running becomes false. So the program prints a menu with 11 choices or 11 options like dentist, client, and etc. and asks the user to pick a number. So for getting user choice, we use in choice. It stores the number of the user types. For example, 0. Example is 1. Number 1 is for our dentist. Then if the input is a valid number. If not, it shows an error and restart the course. So scanner the next line, we can use this also to clear the extra input so the program doesn't get confused. Then let's move on with this switch and statement or handling choices. So there's a lot of choices here. So this part, this checks the number, the user type, and runs the watching code. So let's look at some key actions. Also, for the case one is the dentist. So it creates a temporary dentist to generate a unique ID like 001 and asks for name, address, and contact number, and also the commission rate. So for example, 0.1, this is a double. So this percentage for 10% earnings per service. Then ask how many services this dentist offers and does the user pick from the service names list that's available. Then for the case 2 is the add client. So it creates also a temporary client ID to generate a unique ID. Then ask for names, contact number, and address. Then adds the client to the system. And for the case number 3 is the add transaction. So for this part, it asks for client ID and checks if the client exists. So then ask for a dentist ID and services for this transaction. Example, filling for 2 kit is equal to 2,000 because 1,000 is per 2. So it calculates the total price and adds the transaction. And for case 11 is the exit. So set running false to stopping the looping and anti program. So running tayo ng default. So sa default part natin, if the user types a number not in the menu, for example, this number 12, which is not included with the choices number 1 to 11, it shows an error like invalid choice. So please select number between 1 and 11. So for the closing scanner, scanner that goes. So at the end, it goes at the input tool so the program doesn't break to success. So for overall, how it all works together. So first one is the program start and show as a menu. The user picks an option from 1 to 10, 1 to 11 rather, and based on the choice, it adds student, dentist, clients, or transaction, and also view or data archive is high, dentist or clients, and also positive exit if 11 is chosen. And it keeps looping until the user exits. So there are some key point, dentist, and client transaction, and also client management system. This part is the object handles all the data behind this thing. So when you run our program, so let's go to the number 1. Add dentist. So na-generate siya ng unique ID. Services. So, lahat yung kanyang gawin 1, 2, 3, 4. So, ayan lang yung kanyang gawin. Which is number 1 and 4. So, mag-adjust tayo ng panibagong dentist. CPC6. Ayan. Also, generate additional unique ID niya. Offered niya is 1. So, only 1. So, isa lang pwede niya piliin dito, which is number 1, for example. Then, mag-add na tayo ng client. Number 2 na tayo. So, add client. Generate din siya ng unique ID niya. So, ito. Ito, yes. So, proceed tayo sa number 3, which is the transaction. transaction natin is si 00. So, si unang client. So, total service niya is 1. For example, it's not services only. Then, si dentist niya is si number 1. So, available services niya is just number 1. And also 2. So, maganda siya ng 2,000 because ang isang tooth ay 1,000. Another 3. Para naman kay second client. Ang kanya is so for example, si dentist to naman. Kaya niyang gawin is 1, 4. So 3,000. Then 0, 1. Ang pangalawa niyan dentist. So number 2. Number dentistry niya is 0, 1 pa din. 3. So successfully added na ang ating transaction. So let's proceed to number 4. So ito na, nabili niya na number 5. Para naman kay client. Ito, isa pa. Client number 2. Ayan. Then, number 6. Dentist naman tayo. So, isa pa. And then, number 7. For updating. So, for example, update natin